and ASEAN Forecasting Services. Today, I'm delighted to host the panel discussion with the title, A New Chapter Unfolding the ASEAN Automotive Industry. And to help me unwind this discussion, so I'm joined by my experts from the region. So first, let me introduce them. So we have first Oracha. So she leads our Thailand vehicle forecast. Then we have Mayuree. She leads our Indonesia vehicle forecast. And then we have Manik Gupta, who leads our vehicle and powertrain forecast for Australia. So all our analysts are known for their sharp predictions and deep understanding of local dynamics around policies, regulations, and technology in the market. So I welcome you all to the session, and thank you, Mayuree, Oracha, and Manik, for joining me. So first, we'll start with the poll questions before I jump into the panel discussion. So the very first poll question is, which electrification category is likely to see the fastest growth in ASEAN over the next 5 years? So I'll again repeat the questions. Which electrification category is likely to see the fastest growth in ASEAN over the next 5 years? So battery electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids, or hybrid electric vehicles. So I'll give you 2-3 seconds before I jump onto the poll results. Okay, so hybrid and plug-in hybrids. So I think most of our listeners really look forward to hybrids and plug-in hybrids in next 5 years. So let me come to the next poll. So which factor will most strongly influence the consumer adoptions of electric vehicles? So is it government incentives? Is it charging infra availability? Or is it the electrified vehicle price and supplies? So I'll again repeat the question. So which factor will most strongly influence the consumer adoption of electrified vehicles? Is this the government incentives, or the charging infrastructure availability, or the vehicle price and the supply, the number of new models introduced? Yeah, so I think we have the new models which will be launched and how competitively they are priced, followed by charging infra, looks to be the key for our listeners. So then a third poll question is, what will be the most notable impact of battery technology advancements in next 5 years? So do you think the driving range will be increased, or do you think the battery cell cost will come down? So out of these two options, which do you think will have a more notable impact on the battery technology and vehicles? Option A or option B? Yeah, so I think, so almost 50-50. So I think, so we also think the same. On one side, the cell cost will come down. But on the other side, battery chemistries will involve themselves. And we will have, batteries and cells with much more range. So another poll question is, in short term, how will global trade and tariff frictions impact the Asian automotive market? So I'll again repeat the question. In short term, how will global trade and tariffs impact the Asian automotive market? So option A is, will there be a major disruption in production, exports, and overall sentiment? Option 2 is moderate cost pressures and weaker demand. And third is minimum impact. So I'll again repeat the question. So how will global trade and tariffs impact the Asian automotive market? So do you think there will be a major disruption, or a moderate disruption, or a minimal impact? Right. So I think, so most of our listeners feel that there won't be a major disruption. Obviously, there will be pressures because of trade and tariffs in ASEAN markets. So then we come to another one poll question from Oceanic market, which is Australia market. Over the next decade, how do you think Chinese OEMs will penetrate in this market? So major disruption, more than 50% market share will be Chinese. So strong presence, more than 30% of the market share in Australia will be Chinese, and limited, so less than 30% of the market share will be Chinese in Australia market. Okay, so I think it's very clear that it's very interesting, and actually that's happening. Chinese in Australia are really penetrating deeper. So more than 30% is where the majority is. Yeah, so with this, let us start and let's jump into the discussion. And once again, I will do Mayuree, Oracha, and Manik to the panel discussion. Start with Oracha, who is our expert for the Thailand market. So generally, I think first we talk about the picture. So first let's start with the growth drivers. So Oracha, coming to you. So can you talk about the growth drivers shaping the Thailand market today? And then we go to Mayuree for Indonesia and Manik for Australia. But Oracha, let's start from you.
Thank you, Puneet. For Thailand, the top three growth drivers are: first, aggressive EV incentives and quick adoption. The growth of BEV is significant, supported by government incentive under EV 3.0 and 3.5 programs. Those incentives include favorable import duties, reduced excise tax, and cash incentive. In addition, for hybrid, mild hybrid, and plug-in hybrid also benefit from advantage excise tax rates. All EV have substantial growth and increasing share through long term, while hybrid and plug-in hybrid are believed serving a smooth transition option for customer. Second, the rise of Chinese automaker. The current sharp increase in market share of Chinese, led by BYD, MG, GAC Chang'an, Great Wall Motor, and Chery, is the result of their aggressive pursuing electrification and making significant investment in Thailand, over $3 billion into EV assembly plants, battery production, and charging networks that focus on competitive pricing, advanced technology, and wide range of models, position them as a leader in Thailand BEV and PHEV market. Third, market recovery path from low base to growth. Thailand sales are in recovery path from low base since the COVID pandemic, coupled with the pent-up demand. In the future, we anticipate the steady growth in passenger, especially the electric vehicle. Anyway, we also expect the pickup truck sale to recover as soon as the government release the loan restriction in the midterm.
Right. Thank you, Oracha, and it's good to see the BEV incentives in Thailand market. For a follow-up question for you, Oracha. So Thailand has been a big exporter to the world, and it is also being called as Detroit of Asia. So do you think that this title, because now, more of EVs are being pushed, is this title still valid in the age of EVs? Or do you think that Thailand as a country has to reinvent itself?
I personally believe that Detroit of Asia is still valid for Thailand market, but the country is reinventing itself To maintain that status in EV era, Thailand is now aggressively pivoting to become a leading hub for electric vehicle, Puneet.
Great. Yeah. Thanks, Oracha. So let's move on to Indonesia. So, Mayuri, can you discuss about the growth drivers for Indonesia market?
Okay, Puneet. Thank you so much. For Indonesia, the first thing it should be the domestic production subsidy for the electrification vehicle, because right now, the government try to using the local content to drive the investment from the electrification, and this policy has successfully driven by the global OEM, for example, BYD and Hyundai to establish the local factory in the country, and which turn to boost the supply of the affordable EV and also the stimulate the entire local EV ecosystem. The second one, I think, is the same as Oracha mentioned for the Thailand. Is a Chinese OEM. Right now, they are aggressive entering to the market. They come with the advanced technology and attractive designs and competitive pricing. Its battery EV are more competitive due to the government incentive in terms of the import tax 0%, excise tax 0%, and a lower VAT. I mean the value added tax. Right now, the local manufacturing with the employment, long warranty, and the official customer service over the year to the ruling and the FSK has contributed to growing awareness and acceptance of the Chinese car brand in Indonesia. The third one, I think, is come from the power by the large and growing young population entering the workforce. This demographic dividend create a huge number of potential first-time car buyer, and this trend will be a major long-term driver for automotive market, especially for the affordable multi-purpose vehicle and the city car. That's all, Puneet.
Right. Right. Great, Mayuri. So it's good to know about the growth drivers. But if I talk from the policy and the regulation perspective, so what do you think is the most game-changing regulation
Ah,
or the
mhm.
policy that could accelerate or disrupt the Indonesia market?
Okay. I think as many many people may know, the termination of the incentive of the import battery EV by the end of this year, it means that next year the import tax from 0% from the battery EV will be not have in the country. So it will be the game changer because it will force a shift from the import based market to local production. That's why it will accelerate the growth of domestic industry, and it will generating the job for the Indonesian people. Thank you, Puneet.
Right. Thank you, Mayuri. So now we come to Australia market, Manik. So will you like to talk about the drivers which are driving the growth of vehicle sales in Oceanic region and Australia market?
Thank you, Puneet. Yeah, so definitely there are like three key factors that are leading the growth for the Australia market. So what we have seen is that customers are getting quite a liking for the hybrid vehicles, and we have seen the vehicles like RAV4. They have excellently performed in the market, and we expect that the trend would continue, and over time we would see that the hybrids start eating out of the share from the IC vehicles, and they sort of become the mainstream choice for consumers, as well as OEMs also focus on bringing more and more hybrid vehicles to the market. So one important factor is the hybridization, and other one is what we have witnessed over the years, that Chinese brands have entered into the market, and they are able to grab quite some good amount of market share over there. Brands like BYD are very popular because they are able to position their products very successfully priced into the market, and it is a very good option for the customers also. And then we see other brands like the MG, BYD, and Cherry, etc. They are also becoming quite popular into the market. So Chinese OEMs are also bringing in the growth factor to the overall market. And apart from that, surprisingly, we have seen that PHEVs are also very popular. They are becoming popular to the customers now because they are able to meet the regulation scenario that is evolving in Australia, as well as they are able to meet the needs of the customer. And there has been some exemptions from the government for the PHEVs, through which they are able to take the leverage of being priced competitively. And we have seen this demonstrated with the examples of the BYD pickup, which have gained quite some popular numbers into the market. So these are some of the factors that we expect would be the automotive growth drivers for Australia.
Yeah. So thank you, Manik. So I think among all the three markets, Thailand, Indonesia, and Australia, it's very clear that the fundamental core drivers are there, but the fuel mix, the fuel dynamics is really reshaping all these countries. So we will go into the detail, in terms of fuel types, in terms of Chinese, because Chinese is really penetrating deeper into this market. So we will discuss these things in detail. But first, let me come to you, Oracha. So in your region, in your Thailand market, so SUVs and crossovers are booming, right? So I think most of the consumers are looking forward to SUVs and crossovers. So how do you see sedans and hatchbacks? So will they disappear or will they have strong significance in Thailand market? What's your view on that, Raj?
Mhm. In Thailand, sedans and hatchback continue to hold significant sales, supported by the growing in small and compact BEV segments, especially the current fierce price competition, making those body types more accessible to the wider range of the buyers. Thai people prefer those body type as they are considered as the entry point for first car buyers, and their low cost of ownership ensure they remain stable for urban commuter. Both body type are perfect for ride hailing too. So because it's superior for fuel economy and the running cost. Yeah, thank you, Puneet.
So, Oracha, when I read about Thailand market, right, it's all about pickups. So,
Ah.
do you think electrified pickups, will have the same emotional content? Because I think pickups have been a considerable, part of overall sales. So, do you think that trend will continue, or you think there will be a disruption and consumers will move towards SUVs?
Yeah, right. The pickup had led Thai market for decades. Unfortunately, the pickup user majority, especially in the rural area, are lack of confidence in BEV because of their commercial uses. And they are concerned over the heavy and duty performance and limited charging infrastructure. Therefore, the cheap BEV pickup truck will take even more longer time compared to those passenger car consumer. Uh, and electric pickup consumer require more advancement in technology and charging infrastructure to build their confidence. Anyway, for overall pickup market, we foresee the recover part as far as the government is the uh, uh, loan restriction in the midterm. Puneet, thank you.
Right. Thanks, Oracha. So let me come to Mayuri now. So obviously in Indonesia also, Mayuri, we are seeing
Okay.
SUVs and crossovers, graphics, considering population is young, considering overall, dynamics dynamics of the market. Do you think sedans and hatchbacks have a role to play in the car market in Indonesia?
Yeah, actually for Indonesia, hatchback still maintain it relevant by the serving as the practical solution for urban living. With the compact size, it is ideal choice for the first-time car buyer and the city commuter who must normally navigate in the heavy traffic like in Jakarta, the capital city of Indonesia, and they also have the limited parking. As we see that model like the Honda Brio is very successful by addressing that need and offering of affordable vehicle for the young people and urban consumer. For sedan, even the mainstream of sedan has shrunk and there are some people shift to SUV. The premium sedan segment remains strong. For many consumers, a sedan still seen as a symbol of success. The brand like Mercedes-Benz and BMW continue to see the robust demand. Thank Puneet.
Yeah, thank you, Mayuree. So coming to Manik, so I think Manik in Australia also, so there is demand for pickups, but we are seeing, the market moving on to SUVs. So what's your comment? So do you think hatchbacks, sedans will continue to grow as a body type, or you think, it's almost the end of these body types?
So for particularly for the Australia market, we have seen that SUVs and pickups have demonstrated that they basically are taking over the market, and we have seen quite good growth there. And we expect that this trend is going to continue in the coming next decade, and because it basically suits the needs of the customer, they have a preference for a bigger vehicles. So we are sort of seeing a diminishing demand for the sedans and hatchbacks, but also there is a factor that this particular body type is sort of easier to electrify. So any OEMs that are trying to bring in a new technology, a new powertrain to the market, they could prefer these vehicles because a pickup at the end is difficult to electrify. But yeah, definitely there's sort of a diminishing trend, and the takeover is with the SUVs and the pickups.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Manik. So I think all three of you, in your initial talks, talked about how Chinese are growing, in your market. So Chinese OEMs are undoubtedly making strong inroads, in the ASEAN region and the Oceanic region, right? And clearly, I think it's very important to see, whether Chinese entry of Chinese OEMs. So is that a disruption, for your markets, or are they really going the partnership way? Primarily because I think we also have to see that there are Japanese also, and typically in markets like Thailand, Indonesia, where they have been, Japanese are clearly dominating these markets. So we really need to see, so how do you think, going forward, what's happening in these markets? So maybe Oracha, first we come to you for Thailand market. So what do you think, Chinese OEMs, you said, right, the Chinese OEMs are making inroads in your market. So what is the consumer acceptance like? How the Thai consumer perceive Chinese cars today in your country? Oracha?
I think I can take all for the overall the ASEAN for this answer. For the influx of the Chinese manufacturer is not just the new competitor. It's fundamental. It's recapitalized on of the industry. Right now, the Chinese brand are the rapidly gaining market share by offering the advanced technology and aggressive pricing. They are leverage significant cost advantage driven by the vertical integration in the battery supply chain. And this strategic approach, which focus on the advanced feature and new energy vehicle, is a direct challenge to the traditional focus on internal combustion engine vehicle, and is compelling every established player to adapt or risk being left behind. That is the same both of Thailand and Indonesia right now. Puneet, thank you.
Right. Coming to the supply chains, in these markets, because in Indonesia, we have been seeing that Chinese are investing
Yeah.
in battery, and other EV components. So how large they are, right? And do you really think that Chinese OEMs will be able to secure both supply chains as well as consumer loyalty, both in Indonesia
Yeah.
and Thailand?
Uh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
As you
hear you,
mentioned,
Mayuri. Can you
right
start with
now
the
the
Mayuri? Can you
yeah
start
yeah
with the answer? Yeah, I think
right.
in between we intro.
Okay,
Yeah,
for Indonesia, I will answer for the Indonesia. Right now, the actually Japanese OEM expect to maintain their market leader because they have the reliability and the extensive of the after sale service. However, their dominant face a severe and growing threat from the Chinese OEM. The key risk for the Japanese brand lie in competition between to secure their supply chain. If the Chinese OEM can control and optimize their supply chain, I think they will be able to leverage economy of scale, and this will allow them to have the more to launch more affordable vehicle and directly challenge to the Japanese OEM right now. Yeah, thank you, Puneet.
right. So Manik, coming to you for Australia market. So how does the Australian consumers trust Chinese OEMs in terms of performance or satisfaction, or reliability? So can you just comment on it?
Yeah, so Chinese OEMs have been quite a disruptor for the Australian market. Earlier, they were used to be like an entry segment thing, but it's not quite the case anymore. So they have been on par and meeting the trends with the legacy brands. They are able to keep up with them, and more so, they are able to bring a product that is very competitively priced. So they bring a portfolio of having like technical feature rich cars that are meeting the demands of the customer, and they want to be very trendy. They want to come forward as being very aggressive into the market. So yeah, earlier there might have been an issue of the quality perception, but I think they are able to change it to quite a good degree now, and it's definitely on the list of any buyer or any consumer in Australia who is looking for a new vehicle for themselves, and they're able to sort of fit into the general market, general needs of the consumer as well. And so yeah, I think they are able to meet up with the sort of expectations that they have with the and the competition. They're able to tackle it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Manik. So I think it's great to see, and notice that Chinese are not only disrupting, because of technology. So it's also, they are really working on the quality and really changing the brand perception, in these markets. So and is among the top choices. That is what you just said. So Oracha, would you like to add, some flavor around Thailand? Around how Chinese OEMs and how Thai consumer, typically perceives Chinese, because Japanese have been dominating that market for quite long. So do you think, that perception has changed so quickly? Oracha, yeah.
Okay. Chinese brand have made aggressive move to Thailand market. Uh, the boom in EV markets and the Chinese sale increasing in recent year could be a great evidence, because while the total market is contraction in recent year, but electric vehicle and Chinese share and sale increase significantly. This is directly reflect from consumer, where they're prioritizing on the lowest overall cost of ownership and concern over currency via air pollution. Anyway, the after sale services, battery lifetime, and reselling price are in concern of the buyer, Chinese OEM BEV. In addition to the affordable segment, Chinese cars are currently not just a budget choice for consumer, but their rising tax and design standard attack some premium buyer, and premium brands are now face pressure from S1 EV technology paired with the stronger value from Chinese product. Puneet, thank you.
Yeah, Oracha, if I ask you that, because I think you drive Great Wall Motors electric vehicle, so did you bought an electric vehicle in Thailand because of incentives, or was it because of technology, electric vehicles?
Yeah, I think both, but the f- the first reason must be the price. That's because the
Okay,
support from the EV incentive and the cash incentive make it more affordable. And yes,
right.
right. The technology are also the other criteria we consider, because we are still young. So we love technology, Puneet. Thank you.
Right. And so thank you, Oracha. Great answer. But it does show that incentives do play a very important role in decision making of an electric vehicle, even in Thailand. So though Thailand is one of the fastest moving markets in adoption of electric vehicles today. So now coming back to you, Oracha, again. So that's regarding the powertrain mix. So primarily we want to see how in S&P Global we feel that what will be the powertrain mix in sales by 2030. So maybe, Oracha, we start with you. And maybe you can also touch upon few specific policy incentives, which are really pushing the powertrain mix in Thailand market.
Yeah, yeah, thank Puneet. So the chart show share of the electric vehicle and ICE in 2025 and 2030. So we will see the significant decline of the ICE and the aggressive expansion of the electric vehicle. So we will see on the orange color, which is the hybrid. Hybrids are still majority of the market and gaining more traction. This is driven by the loyalty of the mainstream Japanese customer, when they value reliable technology, lifestyle, compatible, and strong after-sales support. While BEV will have significant growth too, from 18% to 25%. This fueled by, as I told, the government significant incentive and ongoing price war among Chinese OEM, and also the diverse range of brands and model launching in the market. And consumer now are like attached to the environment benefit and improving affordable of the BEV. PHEV also in the spotlight and expect to grow too, as they are considered as a transition, especially for the pickup truck segment, and their success will depend on their competitive price and the sufficient driving range, which will meet the consumer expectation, while the ICE will decrease to 27%. Uh, uh, the ICE vehicles in the pickup segment are expected to, in the pickup segment, I still expect to dominate the segment. This is due to the lack of confidence of the pickup truck user on the electric vehicle. Thanks, Puneet.
Right. Thank you, Oracha. But one thing is very important, right? You said that PHEVs are expected to see the rapid growth in short term and due to lower excise tax. But otherwise, it's good to see, that already Thailand is at 18% BEV penetration, and it is further going to go up to 25% going forward. But parallelly, electrified vehicles will have a long way to go. So ICE and hybrids are not going anywhere, and clearly reflects that Japanese will keep their dominance in this market. So coming to you, Manik, so will you like to talk about the fuel mix in Australia market from 2025 to 2030?
Yeah, thank you, Puneet. So in the I think the next 5 years, what we expect is that ICEs are going to definitely lose out on the market share, market dominance that they have currently, and electrified vehicles, be it into the hybrid or the BEV and even the PHEV, they are going to take a major chunk of the pie for themselves. And we have seen that the Australian customer is getting quite a good liking to the HEVs because it basically meets the regulation norms that are the new norms in Australia, and also they are like very competitively priced to the ICE vehicles in the market. So they are gainingly becoming a preferred choice for any customer in Australia. And we expect that this segment is going to grow in the next 5 years, as we can see in the slide as well. And about the BEVs, we also expect that they are going to grow eventually, but the takeover is still far away, and the major chunk of growth that we see comes into the very long term. But yes, the majority growth will be coming from the hybrid vehicles, and also surprisingly from the PHEVs. We now expect that they also will be a substantially good product for the consumer in the market because it is able to uh, basically kill out the range anxiety factor that comes associated with any electric vehicles. And if priced strategically, it is a very good choice for any consumer in Australia. Although the similar thing is what we have seen with the product from BYD Shark. They have had quite some good numbers in Australia. So this is basically the overall powertrain mix that we expect in the next coming years for Australia.
Right. So, Manik, seeing the geography in Australia market, right? It's a big region, big country. Range anxiety, you also touched on that. Do you think it's a big concern? Typically when you are traveling, you're going on long distance, or do you think, maybe the kind of vehicles which are in Australia, what kind of range people look out for if it is pure BEVs?
Yeah, so basically in the urban areas, I think the consumers are pretty much good with the current range that are being offered by most of the electric vehicles from the BYD or the MG, or even the electric vehicles from Kia or anything. So they are good with the range in the urban areas. But if we go away from the urban areas, it really sort of starts to become a concern. So people would like to prefer to have sort of an ICE vehicle backup, and it won't be the first choice for a long distance travel. But yeah, the scenario is sort of changing with the evolving charging infrastructure in Australia, and the overall range increase that we have seen from many OEMs also for their upcoming EVs. But yeah, it still remains a good amount of concern for the not urban population. So,
Right. So coming to you, Mayuree, so would you like to talk about the fuel mix in Indonesia market?
Okay, Puneet, thank you. For Indonesia, I will start from the battery EV. Battery EV in Indonesia in the year 2021, they have just only 1% share. But in this year, we expect it will be rise to around 11% due to the supportive government policy. And when we compare the charging station from this year and the year 2021, yes, it's expanding. And also right now they have the increasing of model availability coming from the Chinese OEM. This momentum is set to accelerate through the year 2030, thanks to the increasing accessibility offered by the local assemble with the high local content and the growing climate change awareness and competitive running costs against the ICE. The Chinese OEM are project to be the battery EV market dominant. Move to the hybrid. The hybrid will lead the overall electrification and will be the preferred propulsion type for consumer because of the no charging required and it improve the fuel efficient when we compare with the traditional ICE and yeah for the customer it is to transition from the ICE to the hybrid with the more affordable and the fuel efficient. And we expect the JOEM will lead the hybrid vehicle market thanks to its long-standing global expertise in this technology. For the plug-in hybrid, the incentive of the plug-in hybrid just start in the year 2025, I mean this year. But currently, it support only the premium local production because most of the incentive is related to local production, and right now just only the premium brand, and it's with the high price, it's still restrict just only the mass market access. However, in the future, we expect BYD and other Chinese OEM, they will set up the local production of the plug-in hybrid. And at that time, we expect the model availability and it will be more cheaper. However, I think limited adoption in the plug-in hybrid is anticipated because of the its higher price than the hybrid and likely close to the price is likely close to the entry level of the battery EV and they have the maintenance. We have the maintenance both of the system. I mean the electric and the fuel, and also it still needs the charging discipline to maximize the fuel saving. Thank you, Puneet.
Right. Thank you, Mayuree. Coming to Oracha and Manik. So, because electrification in both of your markets is, touching around 25% by 2030. So, what do you think is the major risk, that could derail the EV growth in Thailand and Indonesia? Oracha, you first.
Okay. For Thailand, I would say the obstacle for the both for the EV market are the regulation, government support, and intensive program, or even the mandate or prohibit from the government in medium and the long term. Because Thailand government has very aggressive the target of SAT EV target. So without the continuous of the support policy, I think to achieve the government targets is quite challenging. And the second one is the current economy in Thailand, because now Thailand are struggling recovery in economy and in automotive. So we expect overall market will be slower, and in in addition, the householders are also the obstacle to the growth of total market and electric vehicle. Puneet, thank you.
Right. Manik, what about, any major risk that could derail the EV growth in Australia?
Yeah, so basically the NVS regulation, that is basically the latest regulation that is adopted in Australia right now. So under that, there are certain CO2 level emission limits that have to be followed by the OEMs. And going forward, if we sort of see that right now there are no incentives particularly to EVs, so there isn't exactly any boost for the adoption of electric vehicles. And going forward, if the trend, the regulations continue, we do not really see a direct push coming to the EVs. So that in the longer term, that could be a factor for the OEM, that they would like to stay away or not make EVs as their prime focus, and thus the price positioning also becomes a challenge for the customers to buy the EVs. So these sort of factors, I think, overall would have could have like a derailing impact on the growth of EVs in Australia in the long term.
Right. Thank you. So now we come to Q&A part. So we have a lot of questions. So let first start from Mr. Kantapol. So the question is, which year will the Thai government start easing loan restrictions? So Oracha, can you please reply on this question? So which year will the Thai government start easing the loan restrictions?
According to the Bank of Thailand, the loan restriction is to control the high whole debt level in Thailand, because the debt level used to be 90% of uh, total GDP. So they try to control and squeeze the debt. And from that timeline, they expect that the debt will gradually decline to 80% mid of 2028. So we expect that the Bank of Thailand will gradually release the debt, maybe late of 2027 or 2028. Puneet, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Aracha. So another question is, what about range extenders in your market, Manik, in Australia market? What is the role
Yeah.
of range extenders in Australia market?
Yeah, so we are seeing that only very limited OEMs are looking at that as an option for their upcoming vehicles. Basically, plug-in hybrid vehicles is a more of a go-to choice, and we expect that any OEMs who's looking forward to a venture into the segment would also prefer the PHEVs rather than going into a range extender. So we do not think it to be like a major thing into the future.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Manik. So Mayuree, one question for you. So why the Chinese OEMs cannot penetrate the pickup market in ASEAN, unlike Australia? So I'll again repeat the question. Why the Chinese OEMs are not able to penetrate the pickup market in ASEAN, just like they did in Australia?
Yeah, I'll take this question, Puneet. I think it's because of the customer of the pickup market in ASEAN. Those majority buying pickup truck are lower segment, like lower to mid consumer, where who are more sensitive to income. And now because of the higher price, so they cannot afford it. In addition, for their usage, so they use for like heavy duty, like uh, towing, and so it's will affect to driving range. So most people are not confident in using electric pickup truck yet. So it may take time compared to the passenger car.
Right. Thank you, Aracha. So another question is, what is the outlook of turbochargers in the ASEAN markets. So as per S&P forecast, so turbocharger is expected to poise for a strong growth and close to almost 9-10% CAGR every year. And this is primarily because we are seeing integration of turbochargers into smaller engines and hybrid vehicles, and adoption of advanced technologies like VT and growth in both gasoline and diesel segment. So obviously, outlooks remains very positive on turbochargers, and obviously, as we know that ASEAN markets, are more of a manufacturing hub, typically Thailand. So and even from domestic purpose also. So there is an increasing demand for fuel efficient vehicles with obviously low emissions. So we do feel, the larger market, will get a boost in the years to come in Asia. So I think with this, we are almost close to our 50 minutes, so with this, I thank you all. So there is one more question which has just popped up. So it's what specific consumer segments are driving the electrification adoption beyond the initial early adopters. So maybe this is for ASEAN markets. So Oracha, Mayuree, anybody of you can answer it. That which are the consumer segments which are driving electrification adoption beyond the initial early adopters?
Okay, I will take this one. I think the first group it should be the urban driving and first time car buyer who are really young and living in the big city. They are seeking for the fuel cost, saving fuel costs amid the heavy traffic in the big city like the capital city around the ASEAN country. And the second one group is come from the environmental or conscious family. Normally, this segment is related to the middle class that they are motivated to the environmental awareness. And the third one, it should be come from the fleet operation, for example, the ride hailing or the logistics firm that they would like to lower the running and the maintenance cost. Thanks, Puneet.
Yeah. So thank you, Mayuri. And with this, I think we come to close to our panel discussion on ASEAN markets. And I want to thank all of you, Mayuri, Oracha, and Manik, for your compelling insights. And I think it's very clear today that ASEAN auto industry is not just transitioning, but it is clearly transforming as what you all talked about. So thanks to all our attendees for your time and participation. We hope we were able to give some juice on the ASEAN market. So I would like to stay tuned, for more from S&P Global Mobility. And this was the last webinar of our webinar series, of Asia webinar series. And we really look forward to you now in the next year. And until next time, stay safe and stay informed. So thank you very much all again for the active participation. Thank you.